Welcome back to another episode of Weeblue Slice Podcast. Yes, we are hyped because we just got back recently from watching the Demon Slayer movie. And as you can see on the screen, it is breaking records all through the box office, breaking 26-year office records from Pokemon and On 4. So now,
before we get into that, welcome back. It's your boy Nightman. You got Mel over here. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe to the channel because we about to get into it. And what we talking about today, obviously the Demon Slayer movie and our thoughts, opinions, and review.
Yes. So, do you mind if we do it in the format of the movie?
Oh, go ahead.
So the format of the movie, if you have not seen it, it's 3 major fights, right? The 3 major fights is the Hashira girl whose specialization is to poison demons, and that's how she kill them. And then the second fight is your boy Zenitsu and versus his old, I want to say...
It's his brother.
That's his brother?
That's his brother.
Oh.
He literally says, that's his brother.
Yeah.
From the same clan.
So,
that's his brother.
So
that's bloodlines.
Oh, yeah. So he had to fight his brother. And then the last fight was Akuza versus Ginyu versus with Tanjiro, which, that was amazing. Now...
Nice.
Let's get to we're going to go through that format. So I'm just giving you guys at least an idea how we're going to go through this. So first thing up first. Now, we did, which you're going to see on the podcast in the next couple of days or a week or so, we did some interviews before people went into the movies, right? And one of the major questions that we both decided to agree upon was ask, do you think a Hashira is going to die in the movie? And I'm going to be honest with you. I did not think a Hashira was going to die originally.
I called it, though.
I did not think a Hashira was going to die. And then based on the movie, I thought, like, damn, we about to have 2 of them gone. That's why I was looking. But good news, there's only one.
It's only one is crazy.
It's only one. So, do you want to give your points about the original fight? I know you made notes about it.
Well, so I want to start even before the fight. There's a couple of things that we got to address even before that fight even started. So, let's talk about what I got. So they started off with a quick recap, which I called, but the recap wasn't as bad as what most people would like, where it was like a 30-minute recap. I think it was like 10 minutes, and then it was like, and then the recap was actually really important because the Stone Hashira was in on it the whole time. And what I'm talking about here, guys, is he said, look, I'm going to sacrifice myself. The other Hashiras ain't going to be for that, but I know you going to blindly follow me until my death. So I need you to have my back on this one. I need you to go out there and let me sacrifice myself for the greater good. And he said, anything for you, master. Yep. So, that was a key turning point right there. The fact that he knowingly, willingly sacrificed himself. And of course, we're talking about the Hashira's master. I don't know his name. So don't slay me in the comments. But I think that was critical information, to say the least. So after we had that, the butterfly Hashira.
Yes.
Oh,
but before you kind of made a key point. Welcome in, Kayla. You joined at the right time because we're going through the Demon Slayer movie review right now. But you kind of touched upon a very important part. When the 2 Hashiras was running down, the Stone Hashira and the other Hashira, they was running, right? And he was like, yeah, I knew the whole time that Master was going to die. And he's like, what? He said, yeah, I knew he was going to die because he didn't want to worry you guys because he knew how you guys thought and you guys
right. And he wouldn't go. He the type that I ain't about to be captured out here. So by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying?
And then he also said, Kabukichi, what was his name? It's the top demon, right? He said, do you already know he know you here? He said, yes, I'm pretty positive that he already know where we located at. So I'm setting up preparations right now. And then on top of that, I'm about to die soon anyways. So I want to get him before he get me. So to continue, that's what the part I wanted. That was another important part in the beginning as well.
Oh yeah, but I don't know her name. The butterfly Hashira, she was mad. That was a great fight. And, she went through so many different layers of peeling back the onion of her own trials and tribulations, how she was always weaker. She couldn't chop off any heads, so she came up with the poison concoctions to kill these demons. The problem with the number 2 demon was the fact that he was just adapting way too quick.
Yes.
Way too quick. No matter what poison she used, but she kept trying and she kept going and she kept going. But I think that it was heartbreaking when her student walks in the room and he crushes her lifeless.
But that's not even just that. You missed the major key point, right? That was the same Hashira that killed her sister.
Yeah.
That same Hashira that killed her sister, because she was like, when she first got there, she's like, can you please tell me? Because they were doing flashbacks of her history, right? And what led her to becoming a Hashira. And she called her sister like on the very brink of death. And she's like, can you please describe the demon who killed you? So her sister started describing the demon.
Blood splat on your head.
The blood splat. He have certain she was naming certain characteristics. And he's like, this is no doubt, this is the same demon who killed my sister. And they was going back and forth. And she's like, I actually crafted so many different poison techniques just for you. And he was like, come on, keep bringing them. And
I know, he was too damn on their side. He like one of them little sadist or whatever. Yeah. He was into it. That guy was into it. The fight was crazy. Very awesome. And she did everything that she could do. It's just unfortunate that it wasn't enough to prevail. And as soon as she died, I said, I called it. And you knew she was dead for real because he absorbed her. I said, ain't no coming back, man.
Yeah. So when she died, right, I'm like, is she really going? Is somebody gonna come and save her? Like, is it that the Hashira gonna show up out of nowhere and like?
Nah, I felt the despeраcy, and I said, this chick is dead.
Yeah, she's gone.
Dead.
She is gone. Then her thing came on. She did a little hand sign like, hey.
Yeah, and you don't even really know what the hand sign means, but I'm quite sure that they'll talk more about it in the next movie. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna say that it's probably some type of signal to let her know danger. Hey,
stranger
take your
danger.
time.
Stranger danger.
Like, you know, it's something that's giving her a hint towards either what he's capable of, what she needs to do, or, you know, maybe it might be something they've been working on, like, hey, all the other poisons I've been working on didn't work. Just a signal, bring out the big guns. Yeah. You know, I don't know. I'm just like.
And then he was like, oh my gosh, she was even able to let you know about my powers right before she died.
He knew. He was already on it, you know what I'm saying? So the number 2, he was like obviously super strong, and he even commented on number 3 dying. He said, really? Because to be honest, 2 and 3, I think they all were like relatively the same. It was just like kind of interchangeable who could be like actually number 1. I don't think either one of them could beat the actual number 1, but I think 2 and 3 were like on par with each other.
Yeah, because Arkansas was number 3, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because number 1, I ain't gonna run people, but one's gonna be a motherfucker.
Well, we can tell that he on another level. But yeah, I'm saying we'll get there. Get there.
So you got anything else before we transition to the second major scene of the movie, or you got something else you want to add?
No.
All right. So he's a huge Zenitsu fan as well. The guy got the man on his profile picture on Xbox. And I saw the transition when I'm like, this man changed his picture. Because he's usually a huge, big Game of Thrones fan, so he usually be something more related to Game of Thrones. And when Zenitsu got that note in the mail, immediately his whole mood and everything changed. And that was the main mystery before going into the movie. Everybody kept wondering, what happened? What did he do to make the niggas that mad?
And I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
Turned up in this movie.
You know, that's why I said, you know the thing from the Boondocks. What did he do to make them niggas that mad? So Zenitsu got his shine, and finally he got he really went shine in this part of the movie.
I say like this. There was no punk in Zenitsu's blood in this movie. You can talk about him in every other movie, say he's annoying, you don't like him. But in this movie, there was no punk, because I can't say what I want to say, but there was no punk in his blood. Like, he straight up came at his brother and he said, man, you pathetic.
Yep.
He said, you took that demon power because you could do, and he's like, I heard what they were saying about you. You could do everything but the first one. And I can only do the first one and that. And we were going to be co-signers. Yep. And this, that, and the third.
First thing, another thing you missed the point before we get into that point is the main thing. As soon as he saw him, like, hey, Grandpa is dead. Grandpa is dead. He like, well, I'm glad that old geezer dead. And he like, and he was like, oh, heck no. He's like, you was his favorite anyways. You wasn't even my equivalent. You weren't even on my level. Why the heck you even in the same RAM with me? What are we talking about? If anybody gonna be successful, I should be the success about myself. You should be nowhere near even with me, fam. So, old dude had a superiority complex. towards Zenitsu.
Well, yeah, that's because he had to pretty much share it because he could do 2 through 6, and he could do just number 1. And they was like, y'all can be co-founders together.
Yep.
Y'all can keep our bloodline going, keep our clan going, and further down the path. And he was like, nah, bro, it's either me or him.
Yep.
And since it ain't gonna be me, and I ain't got nothing else to live for, I'm gonna drink this demon blood.
Yep.
And old dude told him, you spilled this demon blood.
I'm gonna tap your head off.
And he said, before it dropped the ground, it's over with for you, fam.
Yep.
So, at that point, he already had messed up. Either you drink the blood and turn into a demon, or you don't drink the blood, you're going to die anyway. So either way, he was between a rock and a hard place. But Zenitsu, that man, he was just like, you know what? I can't get through to you. And I've been trying, and I've been trying.
Yep.
And you can't understand my way. So now I'm about to have to put these paws on you, as you would say, put these paws on you. Yeah. And he was holding his own at the beginning for like a minute. He was like, man, he even faster. But at no point was he hesitating. At no point was he scared. None of the stuff that you usually see from Zenitsu, you didn't get none of that. You said, I got to do this for little Saint.
If you know, huh? But I will say this, right? He killed him, chopped his head off, and the dude was like, 7 art. I never even heard of this. This is something new. And he's like, yeah, this is my new breathing technique. And now you got to go. And he was at pure exhaustion. He was falling down. He's like, well, based on this fall, both of us gonna die. At least I ain't going alone. And then Buddy came out of nowhere like, nah, buddy, you gonna die alone by yourself.
Yeah, pretty much kind of told him like, yeah, it's Saturday to go by yourself. But he's a mystery too because that supporter is not a regular supporter. He's a demon.
Yep.
That's why he was able to tell where they were, what was happening, and able to rescue Zenitsu. So I wonder if we'll get a little like snippet or some type of small story about where he came from and why he's helping them.
I know why he helping them. So. It's always this goes back all the way to the first season. This when they was fighting the little couple, the girl and the boy with the soccer ball, and they was fighting each other. They met those demons, like the whole Zenitsu and Tanjiro met them, and they was actually helping them the whole time. She was the one who was actually taking blood samples from Nezuko to develop the sample to get Nezuko to go back to human.
Yeah, but we don't know why their demons helping.
Oh, I know they wanted to defeat Kabusi, whatever his name is, can't think of his name, but you know what I mean.
So yeah, I would like to know a little bit of like why they're in the midst and fighting for the other side. But the Zenitsu fight, ooh, and that last move where he had popped that sword and it was so fast, and you saw that dragon. Yeah,
that was dope. But now, before we transition, there's one thing I want to say. Like, we have a particular person that I know personally. He was Zenitsu have a pretty decent sized fan base, and we was kind of having some small talk, and he was like, man, I think Zenitsu deserves some more shine. He deserved more shine. I said, I didn't think you biased because that's your favorite character, because me personally, I think he got plenty of shine. If anything, he got so much shine. Like, there's nothing else you can give. There's nothing else you can give people of his fan base. There's nothing else you can give to him.
Yeah, I have to agree. Zenitsu definitely got his shine. He had his moment in the spotlight. But you have to remember, this story is not about Zenitsu. Yeah. He's a part of the story, but he's not in the grand scheme of things. I think that he plays a very important and significant role. But this is Tanjiro's story. Let's just cut, you know what I'm saying? That's why he had 2 hours of it was just him. You know what I'm saying?
About an hour and a half.
You know what I'm saying? I'm exaggerating, but a lot of it was about Tanjiro, his fight.
The crazy part of Tanjiro fight, Tanjiro fight wasn't even about Tanjiro.
No,
let's be real about it. Tanjiro fight, it wasn't even about Tanjiro. And that was the main thing that caught me off guard. The thing is, this movie, because Demon Slayer, I would say, it's a lot of fighting, This movie was a lot of story building. It was good fights, but it was a lot of story
It was a lot of story building. And you actually started to feel like swayed it, and I think that's what they wanted. Like, okay, this man had a hard knock life. God dang.
Yeah.
No breaks out here.
That's what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. If you don't know who
we're talking about, we're talking about the Upper Moon 3.
So, yeah, Asakusa. So, now let's get into the main meat and potatoes of the whole video, right? The last fight. Now, usually in most movies, the last fight is about 15 minutes to 25 minutes, right? But obviously, the movie is 3 hours long. And I didn't even check the read time or the time of the movie, how long it's going to last, because I would have made different arrangements. But it is what it is. So the whole last fight was about an hour and 20 minutes. It was a super long fight, but I really appreciate all the backstory because they show Asakusa like why he became the way he was and why he had a particular fighting demon, like a demon blood art that was customized for him, and why he was able to predict a lot of fighting or a lot of people try to strike him, and he can pick up aggression from anywhere or what they call fighting spirit. Yeah,
you can tell your fighting spirit if you had any type of tendency or hostility towards him.
Yep.
In particular, so it was very interesting to see pretty much how he grew up, why he became a demon, and he pretty much got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways, and even had a future wife, had a fiance, and he had a master, but because people were jealous and wanted their land, poisoned the wife. Well,
so before you even get into that, it's a lot of things that led up to that moment, right? So even when he was a kid, he had a very sick, poor dad, right? And his dad was like so sick that he was just very malnutrition. And what he used to do was basically steal for his dad so he can get him like medicine and stuff like that. He was basically very selfless, to be honest with you. He was like, I would take any beating. You can chop my hands off. You can do whatever. I'm going to take care of my loved ones no matter what, right? Because he's a kid. He can't really get a job. So the only thing he led to was theft. So that led him to, again, basically kicked out. His dad actually, committed suicide. I can't say that. He unalived himself. And then basically Asakusa got kicked out the area, and then that led him to meeting his new leader. I don't say leader, master, and he taught him how to fight. So Asakusa was beating up everybody. He was, even for a little kid, he was beating up adults. And the guy came, he trained him like, I'm gonna show you how to fight. And he like, most times when people actually know how to fight, they want to go 1-on-1, and he put him on his butt. So he took him to his dojo. Now it led to what you just mentioned.
Well, yeah, he led to him meeting his master's daughter, helping take care of her, and when he had free time, learning how to fight. But as I said before, they had the land issue, and the other dojo wanted the land, so they poisoned him. He got upset, and he said, I'm about to put these paws on everybody, no holds bar. I got nothing else to live for. And it was so bad that what's his name? Mosama, the demon lord. What's his name? Anyways, the demon lord, he said, man, I had to see what demon I sent over here, and I found out it's a human. Mm-hmm. Mozan. There you go.
Yeah, Mozan.
Mozan. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, I found out it's a human. Disappointment. And then number one gave him some blood.
No, first of all, before he even did that, he thought he was going to beat that demon at first. And Muzan was like right through his head.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like still kind of conscious for his body gave out because it was such a shock. And he was like,
he was so fast, boy. He blinked and it was over.
Yeah. And he's like, you know what? You want to become strong? He said, I'm actually in the process of making the top 10 next strongest demons anyways. Let's see how your body react to my blood.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it was a very interesting backstory.
Now, the main attraction in the movie, when Tanjiro did his Ultra Instinct type of mindset. He went Ultra Instinct.
Tanjiro was like football. He was in the zone.
He went Ultra.
He was in the zone.
No, Tanjiro went Ultra Instinct. If you know, you know. So Tanjiro, he was reading the fight the whole time. Like since the demon Asakusa was fighting Ginyu the whole time, and Ginyu was going all out. Like he had the mark on his face, what they've been training for. That was the whole training arc, was leading them to how to master the new arc so they can compete with the upper moons. And they was going back and forth. But after a while, Ginyu was just getting tired.
Even that mark wasn't enough.
He was just getting fatigued. He was getting tired. And the boy Tanjiro just sitting up. He's like, man, what is he doing? What is he doing that he can predict everything we doing? So Tanjiro finally started reflecting back on what he had, the conversation we had in Inosuke. And he's like, Inosuke, how can you tell if I'm looking at certain areas in your body? Or how can you tell if I'm like, before I even touch you, you know exactly what I'm about to hit at? And he's like, oh, you know Inosuke. He's a really goofball. And he's like, I got superpowers and stuff like that. And then Tanjiro started thinking about the time with his dad and how his dad used to kill like a bear and stuff like that with no evil intention at all. He was like really calm, collective, and
yeah. Oh, his dad was cold. He said, hey, man, you cross this line,
I'm going to let you have it.
I'm going to have to kill you. And I have no ill will or intent for you, but I'm going to let you know. Bear stuck his nose across the line, and that hand went off in the same thing. And I said, fatality.
Yeah. That's what I said. But yeah, so Tanjiro started challenging that same thing, that same mindset his dad had. So he got into the more transparency world, right? when he transitioned to the transparency world, he's like, oh, I can see all his like movements. I can predict stuff. I have no even intent. And he just literally just walking. And Asakusa just did a major blast. He destroyed everything in the vicinity. And everybody thought Tanjiro was gone. And Ginyu thought he was gone as well. And then Ginyu like, okay, Tanjiro, walking on. Keep taking your time. I'm going to distract him. Go ahead and chop his head off. And then Tanjiro like, hey, I'm here. He said, why would you reveal yourself? And then Tanjiro like, I already knew what to do. So he got his head chopped off. We thought that was the end. He said, nah.
This man tried to evolve.
Yeah, he said,
this man is the headless horseman.
This is not my final form. And I'm like, God damn, what they gonna do? Because now, like, ain't nobody coming to save him.
Nah, ain't nobody coming to save him, but that's when he had an internal battle with himself, learning that, hey, it's okay to let go. It's not your fault, this, that, and the third. And that's one of the great things that I liked about this movie. There were so many little nuggets and life lessons that you could actually take from this movie about working hard, facing your fears, being there for others and selflessness. There were so many different nuggets that you could take away. And that's one of the main reasons why I personally love anime.
Yes. And the thing is, I really love it. A lot of us who striving for greatness or striving for something more than they self, you understand it's always an internal battle. It's always an internal battle for certain things, right? And they were just showing his internal battle. Like he kind of want to get strong. He really want to get stronger, but at the same time, he still want to keep he forgot about his humanity part as well. And the people he actually even decided to, his loved ones and his fiance, like he basically was able to remember the reason why he actually wanted to become strong in the first place it was to protect them. And she like, you did enough. Come, it's okay. You did everything you can. Come on back. Come hang out.
Because he felt pretty much the guilt of not being able to protect anybody ever in his life, and it started to weigh on him. That's why he felt like he had nothing, and he might as well just became a demon and just fight to be the strongest. So overall, I think that the movie was fantastic.
3 hours of straight greatness. I said, man, I will go see it again, low key, but you got scheduled time. That's a huge commitment, but it was fantastic. If you on a borderline and going to go watch it, it's a no doubter, no brainer.
Yeah, it's only one thing I didn't like, and it was Inosuke's voice in English. I didn't particularly care for.
Oh, yeah, the thing is, I was as soon as I was watching the Demon Slayer movie, I said, I don't want to sound like a subtard right now, but Demon Slayer is way better than sub. I'm like, the whole show is way better than sub.
So yeah, it was like, that's the only thing that I would say I didn't like if it had to be like one thing, because I don't want to just glaze it up. But I didn't really care too much for Inosuke's voice, but music was on par. The effects, the graphics, whatever you want to call it, it was greatness at its best. I definitely enjoyed it. It's definitely an S-tier movie. If you have not watched this movie, what are you doing? Stop watching us. Go ahead and watch this and come back and let us know in the comments how you felt about it.
I think it was fantastic. Had a lot of miscellaneous stuff happen throughout the movie that I could not control, but hey, at the end of the day, it was still a pleasant experience overall. So, like I said, if you have not, he said it too, if you have not done yourself a favor, go ahead and check out the movie. I don't have anything else to add to it because the video is getting a little long. This usually way longer than we usually record for one particular video, but I think this deserves that type of love. I will admit that.
So definitely, but if you made this far in the video, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel.
And actually, before we close out, you guys let us know in the comment section below, what did you think about the movie? You know, everybody have their own perspective. I'm not gonna say everybody gonna say it's S tier. I believe everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but at the end of the day, Lord's Ministry is still trash. But hey, as always, we will slice, and we are out.